right, look at this shit. All right, y'all. We are live. Senor Ortiz.
Hey.
Ready to do this thing, brother?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, not yet. Not yet. Okay, now.
Welcome to the AdminisTraders Podcast, featuring your host, Mr. Kendrick Thomas, and my co-host, Mr. Jose Ortiz. This information is used for educational purposes only.
Hey, what to do, KTTV? This is KT, and I am here for another episode of the AdminisTraders Podcast with none other than my co-host, Jose Ortiz, one half of KT and
JoJo, baby.
Hey, look, man, it's still sounding good, man. What it do, man? How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, dude. We rolled into February, man.
Hey, man, I thought it was just me, man. This year is moving, man. I mean, like, wow, January is already gone, man.
Yeah.
Of an entire new year, and so, shoes, man. Well, I'm not gonna complain though, as long as it's slow down by May. Let's slow down. If I can get 4 months out of June and July, I'll take it, man. You know, other than that, brother, beautiful day today in the market, man. Anything fun happen your way?
Man, I think all eyes are on Tesla. I think a lot of people underestimating, you know, the pullback that we had, a little bit of pullback today in some areas. But like we've been saying, man, the market likes to overreact to bad news. And, you know, last week for a couple of our, blue chip stocks that we've been, watching, bad news hit and people flocked to hit the sell button. We're going to see what happens, man. Tesla, all eyes on Tesla.
Hey, look, you know, it's funny that you say that because today in the news, we'll get into a little bit of talking about Tesla and about some of the some of the news that happened, because I want people to be able to see when this happens, what is supposed to happen next. So the good thing is we didn't just talk about what's going to happen with Tesla. We put our money where our mouth is. So after we share that news, I'm looking forward to really just getting into that, man. So if you have not tuned in before, we are the AdminisTraders Podcast, me, myself, Kendrick Thomas, KT, and Jose. The biggest thing is this is about working with educators, because that's our role. That's why it's called administrators. But to show them that outside of school, there is a way to keep that money going. So while you're teaching, you are invested, and not just your 403, because we know they will pull up. They're going to hand out them snacks, and then they're going to give us their 403. But we talking about another way that you can have your money invested, working, high interest rate on that money, better return on that money over time. And so that's why we created the AdminisTraders Podcast, because we said teachers already have the discipline, right? We already have the knowledge of the way that we learn, so we can pull this information out. So every time you tune in, make sure that you come here with that open mind and seeing, regardless of where I'm at. They say the best time to trade was yesterday. The second best time is right now. So be able to learn something, have an open mind, sit back, take a ride right after you subscribe and share what we got going. Brother, I think what we'll do, let's get into a little bit of this news, man. And then when we come back, let's talk about this Tesla. In today's news, if anybody didn't know, I will share my screen so you can see what this thing talking about right here. Here we go. Tesla, this happened 4 days ago, so I just want to put that in context. Remember what we said, when the mall has a sale, everybody go, right? When your favorite store has a sale, everybody go. But when the stock market has a sale, everybody likes to run away. But today in the news section, we're going to talk about Tesla and why running to the fire may build the bag. So during earnings, Tesla stock skids on 6% earnings miss So they got a slowing growth and lack of sales guidance, right? And so when you think about Tesla, they are here in the country and they're slashing prices here. But in China, they have so much competition, so many other cars. You got Neo, you got Xpeng, you got, man, it's just so many, right? And so with that, then Tesla is losing a little bit of the market share, and it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't we buy from our people first? And so what they're having to do is, because these cars are coming out so cheap, Tesla is constantly cutting prices and cutting prices. And so when you consistently do that, regardless of how much you're pushing out, this is when you get this -6, right? So let's dig a little deeper into it. It says the electric vehicle maker revenue growth fell below estimates, while 2024 guidance failed to please investors. So 6%, that's how much it fell in after hours. I remember it being over 200 that day, maybe about 210, 205, somewhere up in there before earnings.
Yeah, that's about what it was. Yep.
Yeah, so about 205. So then you think about 6%, right? So 10% of that 205 would have been a good 20. So just think we was pushing down. So I think it felt like 190 after hours. And then it just began to fall when the market opened and people started selling. It said the EV giant reported sales and profit that missed Wall Street's consensus view, and added fuel to the fire by not providing firm guidance. And so for anybody that don't know, the guidance is saying, okay, we bring out all the comparables as our company, and the guidance says, well, if we do such and such and such, we are projected to make such and such. But they couldn't really give any forward projections because it was just such an unsure time for the company. And so for the December quarter, Tesla revenue increased 3% to 25.17 billion, and that fell under the analyst calls of 25.6 billion. A steep drop from the year ago quarter, 16% jump, right? So 3%, 16% is looking rough. But I mean, what I told you, they have been slashing prices. So now what's happening is we have the Magnificent Seven. That's your Amazon, your Microsoft, your Google, all those people, Apple. And so they're saying that Tesla now, because of the lack of the sales guidance, the fall from grace with the 3% versus 16%, they should be kicked out of the Magnificent Seven. I don't agree. What you think, Jose?
You know, no, I don't. I don't think they should. They got too many other things happening other than cars. Yes, they are a car company or a car manufacturer, and yes, some people don't like Elon Musk, but they are working on some other tech at Tesla. They're working on just innovative ways to do things that are still within the brand Tesla. So no, I don't think they should be kicked out.
Hey, I agree, man. I agree. And so what I wanted to show that for, hold up. Like say, well, AKT and JoJo. All right, then. Look, this is what I want to talk about. So we have and we'll kind of go into a little bit more into the probing, but let's take a look. And I want to show people Tesla's I guess Tesla's chart. And so if we can take the time to do that, let me see if I can get into it here. Okay, so it's not going to do that. Let me just come back out. And I want to be able to take a second because this is what we're talking about when we say, all right, Jose, I'm about to share this screen real quick. And we're going to look at this chart, man. Let's go a little, let's see, share screen. Bam. Okay, can y'all see that chart? Can you see that chart? All right, so for the people that don't know, this is Trading View. And so we'll get a little bit into this when we go to our platform probing. But for right now, what I wanted to show you, let me take the things off. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. What was that, man? That was a whole nother episode, bro. We is going too hard, man. All right, so now this is what I want to show you. And what you think, Jose? Go back out to the weekly chart, 1 week?
Yeah, let's do the
1 week may give us what we want, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Them lines It's a long story with them lines. Don't just don't fret. But this is what I want to show y'all right here. All right, so last, let me see where we at. How can we get this out, man, for the weeklies, man? All right, so this is January right here. So that's January. Look at Tesla. If you can see, I want to move all my line. Can I take all my indicators off, man? Can I take my lines out? No, it's not letting me remove the lines. I sure wish I could remove those lines for y'all, man. I thought it would, but it probably won't. But if you look at Tesla and you see what's happening, bam, here we go. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up. Boom, look at earnings. Look what happened. Do y'all see that? Now, what I will go and show you is, let's go to the hour chart. Let's go to the hour chart. And so now let's go back over here and we can see, look at the fall from grace. Do y'all see that? Ooh-wee. Look, even it had a gap today. But what I want to show you is, look what's happening. So now people let it get all the way down here, got all the way down to 180. And after that, they said, what are you going to do, Tesla? And so then if you look over here in this section, look what happened. Buyers stepped in. We had a little fight. We dropped down. But look when the money came in. Right there, right? And so over this weekend, there was $33 million invested in the Tesla over the weekend. And so you got to think today when the markets open up, that hit, right? If it didn't hit already Friday. But once that hit, then that's when you get, look at today. We're going to break this down even further. We're going to go to our 15-minute chart. So what happened? Big gap down happened this morning. And then, that's that VWAP. So then after that happened, look here. And then what happened? Off to the races. Off to the races. So what I'm saying is people will get afraid of this section right here, but then they just don't understand because remember our few episodes, we said what happened? Did something change with Tesla fundamentally? No, it did not. Did the board go away? Did Elon Musk get fired? No, he did not. They missed earnings. Things didn't go as prepared as they should. Once again, Tesla is more than cars. So is Tesla going to keep falling and never come back? No, it's not. And so this is a prime example that once again, when that sale happens, because this is a sale, especially under 190, my God, I'm telling you, I'm already balling off of it. But when it comes here, then this is what happens next. And so hopefully people don't run from this. You calculate, you watch, and you say, okay, I'm starting seeing rumblings that it may hit the bottom. I get in. But even if it didn't hit the bottom, it's a good company. You wait, see how far to drop, and then you buy more. Because eventually you're coming back. Jose, man, what you got on that, man?
Well, don't move that screen real quick, but later on, when we get into what we'll be talking about with our technical analysis today and today's term, I'm going to show you the Tesla chart again with the term that we're learning. But what I want you to do real quick, KT, is if you look at where that second buy signal is,
okay,
and then you just curve that up and you curve it to the left, that is a definition of a cup and handle. If you can see the little curve goes up, and now at the top we got a handle and we got another top over there. So there we go. There's our cup and handle. So what that means is we are probably looking at a bullish divergence here, and it could break out from this spot. That's you know, and eventually you will get familiar with cup and handle. We'll show you all of that, but if you just see it just by looking at it, you can see that it's a little curve with a handle sticking out, and that's all you need to see to determine what your cup and handle looks like. And so But we'll talk about that in future episodes. But yeah, KT, I think we're gonna see what happens tomorrow with Tesla.
Look, y'all. I'm not the one to tell a lot of my plays, but when the chips was down last Friday, I said, I think it's time. I bought a $1,600 call. Do you know, Monday, in one day, it is already up to 1885. So what I'm telling you is, don't run from this. Figure out why did it fall. Once you know that it's not anything fundamental and you start seeing signs of a recoup, go in and get you some. Man, that was it for the news. We never broke the news down like that, man. That was scary right there,
You
man.
know what? And KT, you said a specific word that I want to make sure everybody heard. KT said he bought some calls. And if you watched the episode 2 weeks ago, you know all about what calls and puts are. And by now, you should know how to play the option game. That way, you're not spending $200 for one stock, but rather 200 or more, or whatever, for option calls or puts that will give you contracts. So please, if you didn't watch that 2 weeks ago, episode 6, go back, rewind, watch those, and you'll get familiar with option buying, calls, and puts.
Man, that's it, man. Shout out to Jose, man. That boy know the episode number and everything. Man, let's go. All right, so what we'll do, y'all, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into our heat check, kind of look at the VIX, because like I said, today was an all-time high for the market, all-time. So once we start getting up to that all-time highs, remember, if you watch every week, you should know. And the question is, if you on here and you watch, put in the chat, or do you think at an all-time high, are we at greed or extreme greed? What we'll do is we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, man, let's look at that heat check. We'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the...
All right, welcome back to the AdminisTraders Podcast. I am KT, and this is
JoJo.
Come on, man. Where is the energy at, baby? We are working tonight. Hey, look, y'all. I hope y'all just checked out that piece, man. If you have not, when this is over, go back and rewind that news. Kind of look at what happened with Tesla. Remember what I said about the fundamentals, and then go get you some. All right, the next part we're gonna get into now is heat check. Oh, okay, y'all. Look, let me pull up the. My God, what's happening with the sharing tonight? This game, we need a producer, man. God, so should be somebody in the background doing all this. All right, y'all. In the heat check, remember what we said. We like to look at our fear and greed index. We like to look at our S&P heat map, and we like to look at the VIX. These are not all the tools that you need as a trader or as an investor, but these are 3 very important ones that if you put inside of your arsenal, it can help you get a leg up on what's going on the market. And so, Jose, man, when you see this chart, man, what does it, besides that warm and fuzzy feeling inside, because you know it's money out here, how else does it make you feel, bro?
Man, fortunate that we made some plays that we talked about. As expected, Apple dipped today. We've been going in the 190s, 195. Apple's all-time high, 198. We're getting close. We were getting close last week. So Apple's been, a little bit of a down. But if you look at that Tesla, $9 run today. And the other one that I want to talk about is NVIDIA was up big today because they got a reaffirmation of their price target One of the analysts rated them as it just reiterated their price target. But what I'm looking at, KT, is I see that Microsoft was green today. If you look at that 1% up, that equates to around $6-7 today that it was up. Microsoft is a $400 stock. But why I look at that is because tomorrow, after hours, Microsoft has
tomorrow is Microsoft?
Sure is.
Man, so, I think I'm gonna get me
after hours. So
I'm gambling.
Somebody knows something somewhere. So, and the reason why I point that out is because we have seen in the past where a lot of stocks go up after earnings, even on good or bad news, and sometimes even on on good news, stocks go down. The reason why I'm pointing this out today is because Microsoft was up $8 today. So I want to believe that we'll have some green tomorrow for Microsoft. And then whether or not they make guidance, whether or not they make earnings, Microsoft might sell off after hours tomorrow. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Look.
But, when you're up 2% today total, and then you are going into earnings, and then if it all depends on tomorrow. If Microsoft is relatively up tomorrow, I see that there could be a potential sell-off regardless of what the earnings look like after hours. So we'll have to play that one. And believe me, yes, I own Microsoft calls for March, June, and January of 2025. So we're going to see what happens.
We will see what happens. All right, y'all. Look, just that was a hit. So when you think about where the money at, technology is still killing it, y'all. I remember buying Amazon at 104. Amazon is now 161, y'all. Right? And so Nvidia. I remember seeing this.
Oh, yeah.
This stock right here, 1,200. I remember when this was $700, right? So you're thinking about what's going on. Are we moving toward a technology future? Even Walmart. I remember Walmart having bad earnings coming out being 140.
Yep.
130. Look at Target. Target was $90. So what I'm telling you, time, putting your money in over time, letting it sit, kind of knowing what's going on. I just got warm and fuzzy again, y'all. I apologize. All right, so all right, y'all. That is the heat check. All right, so remember what I said. That's just one tool in the arsenal. Now let's go over and look into our fear and greed index. Look at this. Remember what I told y'all? Buy, just buy. That's when it look good. Hold, sell. When you got that bag, if you 20% up, sell. Right here, hey, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Bulls eat, bears eat, pigs get slaughtered. Don't be too greedy, y'all. If you have something in profit over here, you might want to get into it because right now, things is at all-time highs. And I don't know if it's going to keep pushing because we got Uncle Jerome coming out this week. And for y'all that don't know Uncle Jerome, Jerome is Jerome Powell, and that is the Fed chair. And so when he speaks,
the market's
bad things happen. Bad things can happen, right? I promise you. When the last time he spoke, it was a nice sale. I will just say that. So be looking out because right now our fear and greed is telling us that something fishy is out here. So now, but I look at that and remember what I told y'all. I can see extreme greed, but when I look at our next piece, which is the volatility index, and volatility, can you explain that for us, Jose?
How fast are the markets moving? Like whether or not we're going up really, how much volume is in the market? Are people buying, selling? Volatility just means it's liquidation, it's liquidity. It's how much money is in the market for that particular time frame.
All right. And so then it says, how stable are we? And so when we get ready to look at the VIX and we see what the VIX says, it's only $13. I mean, 1360, right? So look at the numbers for the VIX. The low is 1359. The high, the 52-week high is $30. The 52-week low is $11. So right now, even looking at this over here, I don't feel like it's a big cause for concern. People spending a lot of money, but people are not really afraid to, because that means a lot of people are not really selling and buying. And a lot of people just buying. And so everything is going up right now. And so that's why you see this is not being very rocky, right? Look at this here. Now, this is when things happen. So look at the VIX over here. Wednesday, January 17th, popped up. It was rough last week, right? So thinking about what's going on, look at this for the month, for the last year, 6 months, I'm sorry. So look at how we rolling, 17. In October, we had a VIX of 21. So, man, we just think this is another time things on sale because everything was crazy around this time. Then now we've been flattening out. We had a little spike the other day. People got scared. Tesla will make you scared. And so we coming on back. But look right here where we ending at. It seems like where we going. Look like the projection is we heading up, baby. So just make sure that you are kind of aware of all those things. Like I say, these are not the only tools that you'll need as an investor, but having these inside of your arsenal can help you as you're kind of looking at where to put that money for long-term or your short-term plays. Because if I'm thinking long-term, I'm going with technology because you see it ain't nothing but green right there. All right, man. So as we close that segment out, man, anything you got, Jose?
Just going back to that fear and greed, what I've learned over time, and KT and I, we do this with our option buying. Sometimes if you have a small account, though, you have to think about your purchases. But if you know that the market's going to fluctuate extreme greed to extreme fear, and you know that means buy and sell, it's always a good idea to buy in multiples. So if you are buying calls or if you're buying puts, buying more than one is usually a good idea. Sometimes get yourself 2 to 3, buy another one on a dip. You have yourself 4 to 5. That way, when we do get high, extreme greed and you're in the green and you're in the money and you've made your profits, you can sell half, you can sell most, keep one just in case it continues to go up. But your risk is also lower because you've already made profits on the ones that you sold. Because remember, it's not a profit and it's not a loss until you hit that sell button. So it's one of the things that I started. I will gradually buy into something, and as it dips, I'll buy some more. And then, that way, when we do make a run, we have more than just one that's sitting there. I know as you get started and you have a small account, buying one is typically what we do. But, you have to be able to gauge that. And when you see green take profits, especially if you're trying to build that account. So that's something that to keep in mind as you buy.
Look, see profits, take profits. All right, y'all. All right, so what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. And when we get back, we're going to get into some RSI. And for those that don't know what it is, that means you got to stick around.
That's right.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the AdminisTraders Podcast. I am KT, and this is
Joe, baby.
Hey, look, man, there go the energy, man. We back here, man. And look, we have talked about the news, right? So we covered a little bit of that Tesla. We kind of talked about the dip. it dipped 6%, but why did it dip 6%? And so we kind of explained that. And remember what we said, if nothing fundamentally goes wrong with that stock and it dips, that's a sale, people. So keep an eye on Tesla, kind of see what's going on. 189 was my price to say I feel better. We're out of the woods. So now let's kind of look. And you see, we went from 189, I think 190, we busted. And so even after hours, it's even more than that. So we'll see how we turn out tomorrow. But Uncle Jerome is in town, so we never know.
And you know,
next,
go on with that. And just remember, guys, you know, today was a good, healthy advance. $7, $8 after hours, $2 more. That does not indicate or mean that we're gonna ride up another $20, $30 within the next 2 days. So just remember that what does go up does come down. What goes down does come up. So like we've been saying, you know, there was a pullback, there was a hit in some news, fundamentals didn't change, buyers stepped in. That doesn't mean that the sellers are in hibernation though, because those sellers and those buyers, because, you know, at the flip of a script, man, those buyers become sellers. So just remember, you know, that doesn't mean we're going to ride this all the way up. We're not saying that. So just remember, you know, to be smart about what plays you make, knowing that it could be, you know, going up and it could be coming down. One thing before I get into that, KT, remember what I used to say a long time ago? Don't chase the stock. So
don't chase it. That's why you get in when it's 180, 190.
That's right.
Because when it get back to 230, 240,
you're gonna be kicking yourself and you're gonna be buying a bag that you're not gonna be able to sell.
Me like, man, I wish. And then once they have people like me who bought it down there, gonna be like, well, got some more, and I'm gone. All right, so now, I just wanted to give y'all kind of recap of that, recap of our heat check. So remember all of those tools that we give you. And so now, we want to dive a little bit for the next 15 minutes deep into more of the indicators, more of the tools that you can use. And so we will get ready for Senor Ortiz.
Oh, man.
Hey, look, I told you, man. I say, man, every time I got in the Jose car, it was something like that. Except for that time it was easy eat, but that's a different story, man. We was right. But so I wanted to make sure I get something fitting, man. But moreover, y'all, the trading insights, he's about to drop some good stuff. So I'm going to share the PowerPoint. And we going from the top, Jose, or do we need to go from the middle?
Top. Yep.
Take it from the top. All right, y'all. It's on you, brother.
All right, guys, welcome again. You know, here we go. Today, we're going to be talking about what we call in the technical words or RSI. Back when I got started, for me, and even today, it was the easiest term, the easiest technical, the easiest chart fundamental that I could look at, spot, decide what I wanted to do, and move forward. So let's break it down for you. RSI. So RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. How strong is that stock when it comes to its momentum? And it's an oscillator that measures the speed and change of price movements in a financial instrument, typically a stock. Wow, big words. So simply put, here we go. RSI can mean a stock is overbought, which is a sell signal, or it's oversold, which is a buy signal. And now I'm going to get into what those words actually mean. So when we calculate RSI, and this isn't something that you need to go out there, take your numbers, but what they're basically doing is they are taking the number of days that the stock has gone up and the number of days that the stock has gone down. They average that together, and then they divide that into 100. And it's usually a 14-day period of ups and downs. And that's how they calculate that number for RSI. So RSI, after you've calculated it, it can range from 0 to 100. Let me say that again. It can be at 0 and it can be 100. Anything over 70 indicates that we are overbought. That means too many people have come in and bought the stock. Anything over 70, we are overbought. And I missed my number here, but it's 30. 30, anything below 30 means that we're in oversold conditions, which means it might be time to buy. So 70 and 30, the two numbers you want to look at. The closer we get to 70, the more we're getting to that overbought. The closer we get to 30, we are in that oversold condition. So what does that mean? So when it comes to trading that RSI, when it comes looking at that RSI, relative strength index, you want to know if an asset is overbought, and this could signal that there's a correction coming, which means it's going to be dipping, it's going to be selling. Sellers are going to come in and step in. A low RSI could indicate that it's oversold, which means a lot of people have sold it. There could have been bad news. There could have been just a correction. There could have been profit taking. It could just be in a downtrend, and that it could signal an upward reversal. So, get familiar with overbought and oversold for your RSI. So now, when we think about that RSI and how to use it, like I said, traders will use this RSI. Anything over 30 is overbought, and anything under 30 is oversold. So just remember that as we get into those numbers, if you are pushing 70 and you own it, you might not want to keep it too much longer. Might be time to sell, or might be buying some puts. If it's under 30, wow. I've seen, and I'll show you here in a few minutes, some extremely oversold conditions in RSI. So 70-30. Overbought and oversold, like I was saying, 70 is overbought and 30 is oversold. But like I said before, like we've been saying, just because it's fluctuating into these two numbers doesn't guarantee that it's going to be going up, doesn't guarantee that it's going to be going down. In real life example, like if we have an RSI reading of 78, well, that's over 70. So, you might consider to sell, you might consider getting puts because we could anticipate a potential pullback. So next, these divergences can mean bullish or bearish, because when the price action can be strong, when the price action is strong and we are reaching those indicators that it's being oversold, we start to think about being bullish because it's approaching that low RSI of 30 or below. Same thing when we start getting into those overbought conditions, that we think about it being bearish because we're approaching that 30. Right now, I know you may not be understanding what it looks like. We're going to show you that in a second, but just become familiar with 70 is overbought and 30 is oversold. Just remember those right now. So now, as we look at,
I was gonna say one thing, Jose, too. I know you have some pictures in here, and what I'll try to do is I'll see if I can pull up inside of the platform probing. We were gonna look at some watch lists, but then I'll try to set it up too.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So when we look at our trend lines are something that we'll definitely get into later. But you can use those trend lines for your breakouts or breakdowns when it comes to your RSI trending, whether it's overbought or oversold. Just keep in mind that when you're looking at RSI, it's in a minute you'll see that the chart itself, it's separated, and we're specifically looking at 70, 30, anywhere in between 0 to 100. So I just want you guys to understand that when I break down this chart here in a second. So when the RSI crosses the 50 level, it can be considered a bullish signal, because remember, it's not oversold or overbought, until it gets to 70. Okay, so when it starts to cross below 50, we start thinking about, oh, this could be going in a downtrend area. So you want to think about a range between 45 to 55 as you make purchases, unless you see that it's actually curving up or curving down as it comes to your RSI. So our example of our RSI, we've been talking about AMD. AMD was ridiculously explosive. As if you can see at the bottom of the screen, you have where you have your indicators for the 1 day, the 5 day, the 1 month, the 3 month, and so forth, right? Those are your charts that you can pick for your time frame. What I want you to look at is directly above it where it says RSI. So if you see where it says RSI, and then you go all the way to the right, that RSI, relative strength index of AMD on the 1 month chart is over 70. What does that tell you? Well, it tells me that we're getting ready to see AMD go down. So now let's look at AMD on the 3 month chart, or I think that's the one that's next, on the 1 year. Wow, again, over 70. We are over 70 on the RSI for AMD. And if you look at that chart, wow, it has been since November in a steady uptrend. Wow, that's incredible. $77. Imagine. Well, we can because we had some. So on the 1 year, your RSI is over 70 again. So now we go back and we look at the 3 month. So I like to look at the 1 month, the 3 month, and the year. And then I'll go into a 5 day every now and then. But that gives me a better idea because, like we've been saying, some of our calls are a little bit longer sometimes. Again, RSI of AMD over 70. So now we got our baby Tesla. Ooh, the weekly chart on Tesla. If you look at that RSI, it is right around 30. It's below that 50. It's moving toward 30 really fast. Let's see what it looks like on the 3 month and the 1 year. So the next one, year to date. Oh man, Tesla. Under 30. A relative strength index of under 30 means we could be getting ready for a breakout to the upside. It means it's time to think about being bullish. Man, let me say that again. Anything under 30, we can start to think about buying, whether you want stocks or whether you want options in that stock. It is time to start thinking about buying. So, and now if we look at the last chart for Tesla that I have here, is the 1 month. Wow. If you look at it, it is definitely under 30. But what I also want to pay attention to is that it's kind of straight at the end. So, if you look at that line, how it curves down, we're kind of straight there on the 1 month. So it's kind of getting ready to make a move. Anytime it starts to flatline. Just think about it as a heart. When we flatline, two things can happen. We can pump it to make it go up, or it can crash and burn. So we're at that.
I'm just at the flatline. You already got
Oh well.
I'm just saying.
I know. So yeah, I guess I misspoke on that. But we're definitely under 30 on this RSI. And so those are the different charts that I created for you to look at to see AMD, Tesla. The reason why I wanted you to look at those RSIs for those two stocks in particular was because today, remember what we said, Tesla was up $8 during regular market. RSI was under 30, indicated that buyers are about to step in. And what happened? They stepped in. AMD during market hours was down at $1.3. Why? RSI was over 70, indicated roughly that we were being overbought. And now the good thing about all that is, or not the good thing, but sometimes all that doesn't make sense to people, and it's not always true because you have other factors. But if you look at that chart, AMD was destined to have a breakdown today. It did. It touched its low at 174, but it closed up after hours and toward the end of the market because of that news that dropped on NVIDIA. So remember, our RSI is still up there for AMD, which means I anticipate a little bit of a pullback here pretty soon.
Amen. Big shouts out to Jose, man. Big shouts out to Jose for the information, man. Thank you so much. I thought I'd institute my Tesla chimes in. I'm bringing these in new today with. That's when that Tesla pop in, man. Make you feel all warm and fuzzy. So really great information today talking about the RSI. Appreciate you, Jose, for that. People just remember the numbers 70 and 30, right? And so 70 kind of looking overbought. Let's see and what happens. But now you kind of know what to look for. 30 is kind of oversold. So when you think about Tesla oversold underneath the 30, what's happening? Some people got to step in and save us. And so what happened today? They stepped in and saved us. And next thing you know, it was to the moon. All right, so now, what I said, this is not saying we're finna go to $1 million right now because Uncle Jerome is in the neighborhood, but to say where do we want to go? And if this is not the bottom, then this is definitely a place to pick up a few shares, right? To pick up a few somethings to be able to give forward. All right, what we'll do, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will let's get into a little platform probing. All right, y'all, we'll be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and
All right, y'all, welcome back to the AdminisTraders Podcast. Before I go, big shouts out to Harris County Department of Education. This Saturday, they invited me out to the RT Garcia Early Childhood Winter Conference. We did the podcast live from the conference, was able to kind of share some things. I appreciate it, brother. Was able to kind of talk to a few people about literacy, made some good connections. And after seeing the book, they said, well, we need your voice here next year. So I'll go from broadcasting to being on the stage next year. And that's what it was about, man. That was one of my goals, bro, to use this book, to be able to talk to people about it. So big shouts out to Harris County Department of Education, man. Appreciate y'all for inviting a young brother out to do his thing. Now, back to the matter at hand. Let's get into some platform growth. Okay, y'all. So for the platform probing, whether you are a day trader, swing trader, swing trader, we just hold overnight, long-term investor, managing multiple assets, all of this we know can be challenging. And so remember what I said in our platform probing, we have been looking at trading view. And so if you notice, that's what I went and pulled up that Tesla when we were looking at the news. And so today what we'll look at is in trading view is watch list, right? So remember what we said, we just looked at our RSI. So now we want to see how can we set up a avenue to be able to watch this stock. And so let me share. Let me take some time to share my screen here. So for this, we will look at, let's go back to our handy dandy Tesla. And I want to come back out and bam, let's look over here. So if you look, let's see here. You only see my watch list over here on the side. Can y'all see? Can you see that, Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we want to do, I got a lot on my watch list, y'all. And I promise you, I use all of it. But what you want to do is come into, let's see. Wait a minute, y'all. Let's start from the scratch. Yeah, let's start from the scratch. Let's do that. All right, so let me go back and reshare this thing. And okay, here we go for the share. All right, so once you get to the trading view and we're looking at the plan, this is the front. And so then it will have all of our markets. Through this, you can go through the stocks, you can go through your ETFs like your SPY, your VT. Dang it. I don't want to talk about it. Crypto, Forex. So over here, this is your watch list button. You open up, you come straight to the top. Bam, you got the watch list. Picture you just starting up, and maybe you want to learn about Apple, right? So then I go over to here, I open this up, and I add a symbol. Let's say, gosh, give me one, Jose. Give me a stock here.
Oh man, let's see. This Microsoft.
Microsoft, man. I think I already got it up there. Oh, let's go just one that I don't have up there. So let's say I want to do Intel. So I got Intel right here. Bam. I go down. Now, if you can look down here at the bottom, Intel is a part of my watch list. And it's simple as that, people, being able to get to the watch list. And so once I do get to the watch list, now I can go back. Oh my God. Now I can go back and look at Intel stock, right? And that will allow me to do that. And we'll get a little bit into our indicators next time, where you can set up your RSI, set up what you want to see. But right here is just all about that watch list, right? So now if I want to take it back, let's say I can go to my advanced view and look at my watch list and kind of see what's going on with the stocks that I am looking at, what indexes I'm looking at, how are they doing, what stocks. And the good part I like about TradingView is I can share my watch list. So they allow you to be able to email people, share the watch list out if you need to, be able to put it to different places. That's one thing about TradingView is it's very much a social network. You see down here, they got the chats. They got so much going on, my ideas. But the biggest thing we're talking about tonight is just being able to set up your own watch list. So when you want to create that, let's say, for instance, I only want to do chip stocks, right? So then I come over here, I can kind of create something. I can make a list. So I got all of my tabs or my buttons over here. So I can make a copy of this list. I can rename it. And then that's when I'll go rename it once I make a copy. And then that's when I'll put only my chip stocks. Or if I want to just keep it inside of my main list, I may just add a section. And then that's where I will only put the certain type of stocks that I want. And so here's another way you can customize it by just the last stocks, the change in the day, how much did they change in percentage, all of those things. I think I want to kind of look at volume too. But yeah, so that's one piece of just customizing that stock. So now I look over here and it gave me the volume for the day. Well, I guess I don't need that right there because I can see that at the bottom down here. But you want to look everything. So now when I look over here, it's going to show my symbol, my ticker. It's going to show the last price that it was. It's going to show the change in the day. So it tells me this is the Apple stock. The last price before the market closed was $191.73. It went up or down with the negative in front. It went 69 cents down for the day, which is a 0.36 change in the percentage of the day. So Apple was kind of null and void. Big shouts out to Tessie. Oh, the Tesla chime, man. Big shouts out to Tessie. But you can see Tesla, $190.93, $7.68, 4% change. So this is our watch list, and this is kind of how you set it up. Just in TradingView, remember what I said, to set up an account in TradingView is free. All you have to do is just go in. And now the thing is, you'll be able to do some indicators. And so just the power of today is you already have your first indicator that you want to kind of put inside of your TradingView. And so I guess let's go back and look at that. So let's say, for instance, and it won't let me do it because I have I get 5 indicators with my plan, and all 5 of them are in use. But let's say I set up my watch list and I put Apple on there, right? And so now I want to go over and say, how can I add my RSI? I go up to the top, look at my top bar, I look at my indicators, and all I type in RSI. Remember what Jose said? This is our relative strength index. You would click that and it will show you everything you need. Once again, it's just that simple, people. You already know your number, 70 and 30. So be able to go back and study what this looks like compared to what Jose talked about tonight. Man, I think that's it for the platform probing, man. So I hope you was able to get something out of that. Please go back and watch it. Any questions, let me know. But remember what I said, TradingView is free. We are not made to promote them or anything. But if you want to kind of get a hold on candlesticks to be able to be a part of this conversation, to be able to go back and say, oh, now what they said makes sense. I think TradingView is a good platform to be able to go along with your Robinhood. So make sure you get locked in. And I think that's it, man. We got about 4 minutes. So anything you want to add on that, Jose?
Man, that Intel chart looked interesting. So
my God. Hey, man, you seen that thing gap? That's what everything fell for, because Intel gave that bad guidance out there. Intel don't know what they doing next 12 months. So, hey, look, y'all, remember what we said? It's getting crazy out here. RSI could be up. Fear and greed could be up. VIX could be up. All of these pieces go into the seeing what happens with the stock market. Remember, we don't try to predict it. We react to what's happening. But if you being able to react off well-informed decisions, that's how you get the bag. That's how it sounds. It sounds like somebody just magically put something in your pocket, man. All right, y'all. I think that would be it. We're going to wrap this thing up tonight, man. Looking at going back. Action steps for tonight. Go back and check out that Tesla, right? Because it is on sale right now. You don't have to load up. But I'm just going to say, and it's not advice, financial advice, but man, Tesla's is $180. I'm just going to leave that right there. You do what you want to do with that. A good thing is Robinhood, you can buy fractional shares. So even if you want to lock in this price, put 100 on that thing, put 50 on it, do something to be able to get you a piece of that and start building out from there, even if it's one share at a time, right? Even if it's a half a share at a time. Don't let Tesla get back to $300 and you don't have none, and you could have bought it at 180 or 190. I think that's it, man. We're gonna close this thing out, man. Jose, anything last words?
One thing, Tesla. Listen, I dropped $80 into a $570 call for January 2025 last week. Today, it was up $12. So, and that's all the way out till January. So, if you want to drop, a long term, now you might be thinking, well, 580 is a pretty steep price. It is, but any movement to the upside gets you green. So just remember that.
Don't get you green. And that's $25.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be like me over here. I risked the bag. I put 1,600. And I got till June. Jose stretching everything out. But I'm telling you though, be somewhere in between that, right? Mm-hmm. Do something. And that's if I don't leave with nothing else, I would just say do something. Because the money's out here. The money's out here. We got Bitcoin going crazy again. We got so much. Pay attention. And look alive. That will do it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope that you were able to get something out of this episode. Please remember to share, subscribe to the page, and give it to your friends, because I guarantee you, the people who just like y'all want to be here, either they don't know to be here or they understand the value of being here. Either one, it's on you to help them because you are here. So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all. And we're doing this next week?
Yes, sir.
Next week, same bad channel. This is KT and
JoJo, baby. Let's do it.
Hey, signing out for KTTV 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KTTV. Is that right?